Hello and welcome back to So My Wife's a Witch,
a Bewitched Deep Dive Podcast.
Today we will be covering the 7th episode of Season 1, aka...
The Witches Are Out.
Yes, they are. I love this episode. We get more lore. We get to start building the world around the witches and meeting more of them.
Other witch-like beings.
Yes, members of witchkind.
Exactly. I love it. I'll just say that. I'm obsessed with this episode.
Oh, this is one you like. This is one we're both, yeah.
This is what I want from every episode.
Yes.
The consistency with characters, the consistency in the writing and everything is just phenomenal.
Yes. And Darrin navigating the real world and learning things from his wife and trying to be a good partner, but also navigate things in the human world. It was good.
Yes.
It was good. Yeah. What happened? When was this episode released and what was going on in the world at the time?
This episode was released on October 29th, 1964, and it was presented by Chevrolet. So yeah, this is Bewitched's first Halloween episode, which is very exciting. I don't know if there's that much of a witch. They do later on, of course, but not too much of Halloween vibes, just kind of Darrin's little B plot is very Halloween-y, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so some fun thing. Well, not a lot happened actually.
Okay.
So the Star of India sapphire and other jewels were stolen from the American Museum of Natural History in New York.
Oh no.
Yes. And the number one song in the United States of America was Baby Love by the Supremes.
I feel like I should know this song, or if I heard it, I would know it immediately. But off the dome, I can't recall.
My baby love, I miss you.
Oh yes, how could I forget? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a classic. Oh yeah.
Silly.
I love it. Thank you for that rendition.
Oh, you're welcome. But yeah, that's kind of it.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if she listens/watches, but October 29th is my sister's birthday. So.
Oh, okay. Good. We should mention that. A historical day for sure. What's your sister's name?
Well, this one is Lydia.
Lydia. Okay.
Yeah.
Lydia's birthday. Beautiful. Well, without further ado, should we hop into the episode?
Yeah.
Okay. We love to see it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
dive on in. Yeah. Oh, this was interesting because Samantha's entertaining a couple of ladies.
Yes.
And she's pushing a little tea cart into the room.
And I'm like, oh, where did you get that thing? We'd never see that again. It's just wheeling in this giant tea cart like she's, I've only watched Harry Potter once, but the little cart going down
it's the trolley. Anything from the trolley,
yeah.
Guys?
She's just wheeling this thing. Okay, and immediately I'm annoyed though, because she's wearing that ugly frock.
The two-piece. Yeah.
Ain't no two. That's one. It's one thing.
It's definitely got a top and a bottom. I'm pretty sure it does.
I don't think so.
95% sure.
We've seen her wear this before.
Okay.
Which I like in shows where they do repeat clothes because that's how life works.
Yeah.
So I do like that because we see her in some of the same clothes and later we see her in some of the same things as well. But either way, I'm just letting y'all know that I hate this dress thing with a passion.
It's on your diss list.
Yeah. But also to be in the 60s and have so many beautiful things and patterns, and then they pick this one to put one of the most beautiful women ever in. No, thank you.
Yeah. I feel like her hair is always on point.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This
Especially
episode
this
in particular.
episode.
Yes. I definitely noticed not a strand out of place. It looks so shiny and curled perfectly in the back.
Coiffed.
And it's perfectly coiffed. So gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah. Where do they keep this tea cart? Do they have a garage? I have questions about their storage capacity.
No, I don't think they. Do they? I don't know.
There's always parking his car in the driveway. But yeah, she's wheeling it in, and then
Yes.
we meet two members of witchkind other than Endora and Samantha, which is very exciting.
Yes, and I love them immediately. Because of course one of the actresses is recognizable, at least to me because I'm old. But yeah, so her guests are named Bertha and Mary, which I just because it's like an insult now. Like, I hate the name Bertha. I guess it wasn't back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's so cute though too. Like, she brings in the cart so close.
Zolder Planken Kopek Lum.
They still use magic to like levitate the tea, which again, the visual effects are incredible of how the with tea in them and the little saucer on the bottom is floating to these women, and so both witches do that. And then Samantha picks up the teapot and pours herself a cup of tea, and they both look at her like, oh God, like Andorra warned us about this, like, what are you doing, girl?
Which was interesting. They point out that she doesn't use the same spell that they did to pour the tea for herself, but they also don't say anything about her like manually pushing the cart in or other things where she's clearly exhibiting labor that she could have used magic for. And I also thought it was interesting that this is the first time we've seen a spell being used.
Yeah, instead of just waving a hand or something.
Yeah, so that was interesting and makes me wonder more about the magic system.
Maybe these are like older women. Okay, they are older women, but like if they're like older witches, right? And so some like to use words,
okay.
or some are just able to do whatever, or maybe like Andorra is the supreme, right?
Ooh,
she doesn't need words.
Yeah, she needs no words.
Because I feel like the last time we saw words being used was by Samantha in the pilot to try to get rid of Andorra on her honeymoon.
Exactly.
She should have. But yeah, I feel like that was the last time we saw that happen. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Like, is it the sort of thing where you usually, like when you first start out, you say the spell, but then you can transition to saying it in your head or something, and it still works? Or I don't know. I have questions about the inconsistencies there.
Either way, she says, like, once she sees them looking at her, she says, oh, I'm trying to give it up.
Right? As if it's like a bad habit.
I'm trying to give it up.
And then we go into the theme song, and then that's when I saw we have a new writer coming into the show. So I have a little ditty on this writer.
This episode is chock full of mini ditties.
Yes.
Y'all are gonna love it.
Buckle up, buttercups. Yeah, so his name was Bernard Slade, and he was born on May 2nd, 1930 in St. Catharines, Ontario. And he's kind of a big deal.
Oh, okay.
Very prolific. He started out as an actor, and then he moved on to writing television, like Bewitched. And some of the things, like he actually created a number of shows, and two that were the most popular, of course, was The Flying Nun, starring Sally Field. That's, of course, where she got her start. And then he also kind of created and wrote for The Partridge Family. And he wrote only 4 movies, so like, TV was definitely his thing, but it was still successful, like only 4 movies, and with one of those movies, he was nominated for an Oscar.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, for his adaptation of Same Time, New Year.
Okay.
And with that, he also wrote several plays and received a Tony nomination, and received the Drama Desk Award.
Do you know what the Tony nomination was for?
I think it was for Same Time New Year,
the
play
the original
adaptation.
I see.
But yeah, and then other than that, a little spoiler, he wrote 17 episodes of Bewitched, so I'm really hoping they're the really good ones since I really love this episode in particular. And of course, he gave us Aunt Clara, and he passed away in 2019.
Wow, recent. That's wild.
Yeah, incredible career. So I'm very happy that he found his way to Bewitched.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. That's so exciting. I can't wait to see if the other episodes are ones that you love just as much.
I'm excited. So then we go back after the theme song, and they're back, drinking their tea and everything, and then they start talking like, "Oh, where is her? Like, where is she?" And we're like, "Who are they talking about?" Like, they're still waiting on someone. So she says, "Have either of you heard from Clara lately?" And then we hear, and then Bertha says, "Oh, Samantha, there's someone at your door." And we never hear a doorbell, or a knock. And Samantha's like, "I don't hear anything." And then we hear the doorbell ring, and she's like, "Oh, okay." So that must be because we've seen that from Andorra as well. This kind of like foresight or some kind of, whatever. She opens the door, and there's Aunt Clara, played by the incredible Marion Lorne. And she is all disheveled, looks a little dirty. Her hat's all crazy. And Samantha's like, "Aunt Clara, like, I'm so happy to see you. Like, what happened? Are you okay?" She tells a whole story about how she landed basically in the freeway.
Yeah. Like, we're worried for her. And Bertha and Mary were also talking about how, like, have you flown with her recently?
Yes.
Don't do it because it is dangerous. So we're a little worried for her well-being at this point.
We are.
Yeah.
And Samantha immediately kind of jumps in, and she's like, "No, like, she's fine. Like, it's, she's getting a little older, but like she's good, She's just a little discombobulated, one could say, right?"
Yes.
And so then they're like, "Oh," Samantha's like, "Do you want some tea?" And she's like, "Oh, yes, I'll get it myself, And she tries to do their same little spell, right? And she can't remember the words. And then Bertha's like annoyed because they do care about her, but she's like, she won't ask for help, right?
She's stubborn.
Or
They
admit
also
it.
mentioned that.
Yeah, she's very stubborn. And so she's trying to remember things, and then Bertha goes, "Kovac."
Zolda, Prankin, Kopek. I know, dear. I know. Loom.
It's like the last word, and she's, "Oh, I know." And so she finishes the spell, and then the teacup starts floating like normal, and then it starts shaking violently, and then falls to the floor and shatters, right?
Yes.
She's like, "Oh, I didn't want tea anyway."
Yeah, I know. Stubborn to a fault. And Bertha's
Yes.
like, "Next time if you want, just ask." And she's like, "I didn't want any."
Yes.
Anyway.
And so then Bertha does this motion, and the teacup reverses into before it was broken, and she hands it to Aunt Clara.
She is such a fun character. She has a lot of every word she has. There's a little nugget of gold in one of her lines.
Oh yeah.
I wrote down pernickety, and then she talks about how this season sends her all fluey because of like like Halloween being a holiday in which witches are not represented well, and so it gets her all in a tizzy. But the floating of the teacup, it definitely exemplifies her shaky magic skills. Like they're showing you little ways in which her magic is going or her mind is going in different ways.
But I just thought about it right now. That's kind of interesting because some people, as they get older, or just like even right now, like I've always been a very shaky. Like my hands have always shook more, which is what they say. Like women get more money for their welding abilities, right? Because men seem to have more of a shake. But it's interesting too, like if we think about it that way, like she's older or whatever, like even like the shaky magic, like the teacup shaking, like it's the magic of an older woman. It's interesting to think about it in that way too. I'm sure they didn't, but that's just what I just thought about right now. But yeah, so that brings us to another mini ditty.
Oh yes. Do you want? Should we switch off? I'll do.
You want to do Mary first, and then I'll do Bertha.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, we've prepared mini ditties for you on these two lovely ladies.
Which we wouldn't usually do like so much, but they have quite a substantial role in the episode, and they're both incredible actors and comedians in their own right, and amazing careers. So we thought it was important that we talked about them and let y'all learn some more about them. So.
Yes. And I was very excited to do mine on Madge Blake, who plays Mary. She was born on May 31st, 1899 in Kansas.
Nice.
Her uncle, Milburn Stone, played Doc Adams in Gunsmoke. So she had a famous relative.
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Well, because Daddy likes Westerns, so we watch Gunsmoke all the time. That's incredible.
Yeah, so they're related. And she actually didn't start acting till she was 50. So she had her whole life until she started acting, and she kind of entered the scene at the Pasadena Playhouse. And the article I read talked about how she used her uncle's influence in order to get roles at the time.
As she should.
That's the only way to do it sometimes. But she has been in so many incredible things. Just to name a few: Singing in the Rain, Dennis the Menace, The Real McCoys, Leave It to Beaver, The Addams Family, Brigadoon, love Brigadoon, and Batman. She had a recurring role in Batman for 3 seasons.
Nice.
And even at one point, the Batman producers wanted to let her go for some unnamed reason. And Adam West, who played Batman in the show, he stood up for her to the producers and talked about how incredible she is and why she should stay on in the cast. And they decided to keep her on because of that conversation. And the next day he walked into his dressing room and she had baked him a whole cake. So she surprised him with that cake. I thought that was cute.
I wonder what kind of cake it was.
I know, right? Was it chocolate? Was it his favorite? What was his favorite? I don't know. So many questions.
Was it German chocolate?
Ooh. Yeah, okay. If someone were to bake you a cake as a thank you, what would you hope the cake was?
Yeah, like definitely chocolate. Pound cake. Because I'm not picky. Like if it's there, I'll eat it. But I would rather have a chocolate cake, all chocolate, or a nice pound cake or something. And do not get me that, that beautifully frosted cake with the chocolate icing and you're like, oh my God, chocolate cake, I'm so excited. And then you cut into it and it's vanilla on the inside. That makes me very angry.
I get it.
That is false advertising and it should not be allowed.
Not be allowed at all. No.
I
think I do love chocolate cakes. Got to be a moist chocolate cake. Good ratio of icing to chocolate good chocolate cake. Good ratio of frosting to cake.
Yes.
But also like if they want to spend all that time and effort on like a homemade tiramisu.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be good. Yeah, I'd be obsessed with that.
But I need the frosting. And I want the frosting for the chocolate cake to be more like fudgy.
Oh, you like it to be thicker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I like it to be creamier, I think. Okay. And I have one trivia question for you.
Okay.
Our Miss Madge Blake, was the model for what animated Disney character? Was it A, Fauna, one of the fairy godmothers from Sleeping Beauty, B, the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, or C, the evil stepmother from Cinderella?
Okay, this is really crazy because I was going to say that they literally remind me of the 3 fairies in Sleeping Beauty, which is my favorite Disney movie of all time. So I'm going to vote for Sleeping Beauty.
A. That is correct.
That's so weird. Like, I'm promised. Like, I literally thought that. And it's true. That's funny.
I know, right? They do. They definitely remind me of those characters just from the way that they talk and the magic that they behold.
Like the more serious, like grounded one, and then one that's like a little silly, like sweet but still, Yeah.
Exactly.
Aww.
Yeah. So she had an incredible career. She had ties with Gene Kelly from starring in several different movies with him. And she ended up dying of a heart attack in February of 1969 in the hospital. So she was surrounded by loved ones.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That's my mini ditty.
Yeah. So me next again. So Bertha is played by the incredible Retta Shaw. And she was born on September 13th, 1912 in South Paris, Maine. She started her career in the theater. And she also taught voice lessons and acting to children. Aww. She was in the original productions of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Annie Get Your Gun on Broadway. And she also did radio, like many of our folks on the show did. And she was in many films, like, and this is how I know her. She played the cook in Mary Poppins.
Oh my God, iconic. Okay.
She played the cook in Mary Poppins, and she was in Pollyanna.
I don't
Also
think I've
from
seen
Disney.
Pollyanna.
Yes, and Pollyanna also co-stars Miss Agnes Moorehead.
Oh my God, iconic.
Yes. So, she also co-starred in another tie. She also co-starred in the sitcom, the short-lived sitcom Ichabod and Me. If you remember from last episode, that little Jimmy Mathers also starred in. So she had a large role in that show, and of course, it only lasted the one season.
Okay.
But yeah, an insane amount of TV credits. Wagon Train, like everybody else on the show. Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Dick Van Dyke, The Lucy Show, I Dream of Jeannie, The Odd Couple, and Happy Days. She passed away at only 69 years old. From emphysema in 1982.
Wow. So same thing that took Dick York.
So then I was like, because it didn't really give a lot of information, but I'm like, well, was she like a chronic smoker? Like, what was the, yeah.
Madge also died at 69.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Very weird.
But yeah, she was incredible. So, yeah. I like her. But she was known to play, like, she was a character actress, and she would play those more, like, serious, like, stern, because I guess, they didn't cast her as, like, the beauty, like, she just kind of always looked older and, all that, so. But yeah. So.
Lovely.
Getting back to the episode, we cut to Darrin, and this is probably the best, like, going to his office scene we've seen so far. So he's being force-fed very chewy Halloween candy by a client, Mr. Brinkman.
It's like a close-up of his face the whole time, just like chewing and chewing and chewing the candy that never ends.
No.
And he keeps offering him more candies. And he's eventually like, I already have an incredible idea for my advertising.
Yeah. Mr. Brinkman knows, like, it's supposed to be an easy thing for Darrin, right? Like, Mr. Brinkman's like, I know exactly what I want. I just need you to draw it up, and I'll be on my way, right?
Yeah, and he says he wants it to be a witch.
Yes.
And Darrin says, well, it certainly ties in with the product. And I thought that was
he has his mouth full the whole time, and he just keeps shoving this bag into his face.
And it's funny to see him do like the song and dance he does with a client, like trying, like definitely being like charismatic and whatever they want, and the stuff that he goes through in order to make these accounts happen.
Yeah.
And him having candy shoved in his face is just one of them.
I'm kind of feeling like we don't really get a good view of the actual candies that he's eating, but I feel like because of his struggling, I feel like they're kind of close to like a circus peanut, right? Something larger and like really chewy.
Yeah, I was almost thinking like saltwater taffy, the way that you can like chew and chew and chew that. And it was mentioned in the Bewitched Continuum by Adam Michael James. He talked about how you can see the label of the brand of candy that they used. That's not the actual candy in the actual world of the show.
I wonder if it exists anymore.
Oh, I did not recognize the name of it. But yes.
Yeah, so yeah, he like goes into this explanation of exactly what kind of witch he wants, right? Big green, big crooked nose, hook nose, the warts, the broken teeth, the pointy hat. Like he wants the stereotypical whatever.
And then the scene like cuts to the ladies talking about the horrible representation they have every year around Halloween of what witches look like and how it's not accurate. They're just like normal people. Yeah. And so it's this hilarious kind of switch back and forth between his idea of a witch and their reality of being a witch.
Which we've kind of seen something kind of similar, like with Larry and Darrin, like the way they talk and kind of go around in circles, right? But this being like the actual like whatever of the editing and everything going back and forth, and he's explaining this stereotypical ugly witch that he wants, and then them being gorgeous and normal, right? And it's just incredible, and it's one of my favorite things about the episode. And Darrin kind of struggling with it, and he's just like, okay, just stop feeding me candy, like I'll do it, like
He's like,
Okay.
I get it. If it's a witch. We all know what the stereotypical witch looks like.
Yes, but the ladies are talking about, how they're tired of it and how Halloween every year is just so annoying for them, which brings me to my first down of the episode now. No Andorra.
Yes, they talk about
They
'cause
do.
They talk about how they tried to get Andorra on
good.
to try and like make some change finally happen.
Yes, wait,
And-
I got it. What I do? I wrote something down.
And they're like, she's
Oh.
not interested in the cause.
Yeah, she said, we tried Andorra, but she's not interested in the cause at all.
Yeah, and then
Um,
Samantha says, "Oh, I know. She thinks we should just like ignore it, and we fly to the south of France every year."
Yes.
And once again, Andorra is living my dream life.
Could you imagine?
I know. I wish that was me. That'd be so lovely.
Yeah, so like Samantha's their second choice to try to do something about it. But yeah, Samantha's just like, Andorra just waits for it to be over, and that, and growing up they always flew to the south of France or just out of the country to escape it.
Yeah, so they're lamenting about the way witches are depicted, and then it switches back to Mr. Brinkman describing the exact imagery that upsets the women so much. And he talks about how he wants the witch to have a mouthful of broken teeth.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is not really going to encourage people to buy candy.
I know, like eat my candy and your teeth will look just like this.
Yeah, right? It just didn't seem that that's appropriate advertising.
Yeah. Yeah, and so then Samantha's really excited about trying to figure out kind of what they can do to try to fix their image in the public eye, right? And Mary's like, well, I just don't know why we can't come out and tell people we're witches and they'll see how wonderful we are and they'll change their mind, and Bertha, they're all like, no, that's not a good idea. Like I don't want to be burned at the stake, basically.
Make sure you have good fire insurance.
Yes, that's what she says, which is really cute. And so Samantha basically is just like, okay, well, what about Darrin? Like, he's immortal. Like, he knows, how I look. He knows whatever. Like, maybe he can help. He always has really good ideas. Like, he's the best advertising man. Like, I'm going to see if I can ask him.
Yeah, because Bertha says, I think we should start rewriting fairy tales and start at the source, like with the kids that are growing up in the new generation, give them a different idea of what witches are. And it's interesting because that was also a notion that was brought up in the episode about soup with Mr. Caldwell, where it's like, oh, we need to rebrand it for children. And so I wonder if that's what sparks Samantha thinking, well, Darrin, he works in advertising. He's got a pulse on the people, and he has a way of changing people's minds with the imagery.
And I love Bertha's idea, like her view on Hansel and Gretel. No, we need to show those kids for who they really are. Messing with some poor sweet old lady and taking bites out of her house.
It's so good.
I love it.
Yeah.
But it makes me think too, cut back to episode 4 before Darrin meets Andorra. He has this same, even though he knows what Samantha looks like. Remember, he literally says, "Whoa, well, what's she gonna look like? Is she gonna, and says these stereotypical things about her mom as well, right?
Right. Yeah. So all humans have this misconception, and it's interesting watching the scene too, because Aunt Clara is pretty quiet. She's not really, it seems like she can't quite keep up with the conversation
Saying random stuff, right?
Yeah, until Samantha mentions bringing on Darrin, and she's like, what do y'all think? And Aunt Clara goes, I think that's a crackerjack notion right up with the times. Whatever that means. She's so funny.
Do you used to eat Cracker Jacks?
I loved Cracker Jack and the little riddles on the inside.
Because the thing they used to put in there used to be better, but apparently now it's just a QR code or something.
Ah, a QR code? That's horrible. It was entertaining. You could eat the crunchy popcorn with a little bit of nuts in there, and then you'd also get a little riddle you could read.
I like the optical illusions.
Yes,
they would do in there.
Those were fun. And bazooka bubblegum with the little comics. So many.
We're old.
We're old. I miss it. Delights, mini delights.
So Darrin pulls up in his beautiful Chevrolet convertible in the driveway. And, of course, they're still there. And so they say their goodbyes. And Samantha's like, don't worry. I'm going to talk to him about it. As soon as he walks through the door, we're going to figure something out, And so they all start walking into the wall to vanish after they say their
9
goodbyes.
3/4. They just like disappear through the walls.
Yes.
It's the coolest thing.
And interesting too, we get a new sound effect when there's any magic at this point onward in the episode that we have never heard, and I don't know if we ever hear again. I don't even know how to describe it, but we'll put in a clip.
Yeah, I noted it later on when they boing into the foyer. It's so funny. We've never heard this. Like normally when in Dora or Samantha, it'll be like a bling, like a bright sound, and this one's very like boing. It's weird.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's multiple at a time leaving or coming and going. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so they leave. Bertha and Mary leave, and then Aunt Clara, says goodbye to Samantha, gives her a hug, and then goes and immediately just runs into the wall, and she does not vanish into it like Bertha or Mary. She smacks right into it.
I better be running along too,
Certainly, Aunt Clara.
Now, anything you need, let me know.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, goodbye. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye.
And it's interesting because Samantha goes, oh, maybe you weren't concentrating. It's like, oh, that's why her magic is going. Her mind is finding it more difficult to concentrate, and that's why her magic is not as strong. Yeah.
She's like, well, maybe, like, she tries to walk into it again, and she's like, oh, no, like, maybe you should just use the back door.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that's a good idea. And so she leaves, and then Samantha kind of steps on something and reaches down, and Aunt Clara forgot her umbrella. So she picks it up, and then Darrin walks in the door, and he's like, oh, you expecting rain? And she's like, oh, no, just tidying up. And she puts it in I guess what would hold umbrellas or walking sticks beside the front door. And she like immediately tells him about.
Well, she's like, how was your day? And he says, grim. And then she goes, sweetheart, I need your help. Just immediately straight into it. No acknowledgement of like, grim. Oh no, what happened? It's just immediately, I need assistance. Give me assistance.
Yes. So he's like, do we have a, what do they call them?
He asked for bicarbonate.
Bicarbonate. Thank you. So the brand is
Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer, and there's that other one too, like BC powder, BC.
I think you can just use like baking soda.
Maybe not. Like an antacid, basically.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, something didn't sit right with me. Like all the candy he was made to eat is made him have an upset tummy. So Samantha goes to get the bicarbonate, and Darrin is like, okay, well, I'll be in the study finishing up these drawings, but it's just in the case, so she doesn't see him. And so he's back in the study. He's on the little easel drawing board, and we see it's this gorgeous, like really beautiful, beautifully well done. I don't know who they got to do the drawings on the show, right? But drawing of an ugly witch, like Mr. Brinkman wanted. And so she brings him the bicarbonate and the water and starts talking, and he's kind of drawing a little bit on it. And she starts going into, what they were kind of talking about.
And it's the witch itself. It has like the pointy hat, the wiry hair, the warts, the nose, the chin, all of it's included in there.
It looks just like Witch Hazel from Looney Tunes. Like a portrait of Witch Hazel.
Yes.
So yeah, she's just talking to him, and then she happens to like kind of come closer to him and like looks down, and she's immediately offended, as she should be.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this? He's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just a drawing. Like, it's for Mr. Brinkman. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, he's like, this is what the public thinks witches look like. And she says, well, is that any reason to discriminate against a minority group? And that kind of makes him pause. And he's like, whoa, what are you talking about here? Yeah,
he's just clueless. And kind of like we got in a very serious episode with Mr. Barker, right? Like, there's uncomfortable. I felt like not uncomfortable, but like, again, Elizabeth Montgomery's killing it, as she always does. Very serious in her, delivery and everything, but there's still a laugh track, right? Under all this stuff that is serious, because they might be laughing because it's like, oh, haha, like we know witches don't actually exist, but the things that she's talking about are extremely important. Unfortunately, still extremely important now more than ever, but even more important at that time, right? 1964.
Yeah. During the height of the civil rights movement.
Yeah, and he literally says she's being ridiculous, or like he tries to say she's being ridiculous, and she cuts him off.
Yeah, he goes, sweetheart, if you realize how ridiculous you sound,
yeah.
Big mistake.
And she calls him bigoted, and rightfully so. And I feel like she does get her point across. And he actually realizes it, or at least I hope he realizes it, which he does like later, you'll see. But in the moment, do you think he actually is just like, oh yeah, like she's right? Or is he like, I just want you to stop?
Well, I think he has a wake up call because she asks him very pointed questions. How would you like it if you were being represented as something different, which is something all marginalized and disenfranchised groups have dealt with throughout history and still today. And it's not until she goes, you're prejudiced, mother was right, that something shifts on his face and it completely changes. And he says, if I was prejudiced, I wouldn't have married you. And then it turns into a whole different argument because she goes, oh, you took pity on me? Like you felt bad, poor little witch, no one's going to love you. And then he says, I might get very sick, as if like this conversation is making him sick to his stomach. Like it's upsetting him so much.
And the candy.
And the candy for sure. And she says, anyone as bigoted as you deserves it. And then he gets angry and he yells and he goes, I am not bigoted. And then it's only when she explains like how much it hurts her and like how when she was younger, she had to leave the country around this time of year.
She tells the story of like when she was a little girl around Halloween. Yeah, her and Andor would always have to leave the country because Andor didn't want her to see the masks and everything, right?
Yeah.
And see them portrayed in this way. And that's why like when we talked about in previous episodes, like this whole thing of more magical set or whatever TV shows at this time, like this and Genie, like a nice way to kind of escape what was going on in the country at the time, to kind of turn off your brain for a little bit. But Bewitched does especially in this episode, it's such a beautiful way of still letting you turn your brain off and not think about that, but then still relate it to what's happening in the episode, right? Like, oh, it's about witches, right? But then, oh, wait, is it? So still, like, he does such a good job writing this episode. And really, they talk about some, really important things. And I love it. And even talking about how witches are portrayed in the media or whatever, I also thought about, speaking of Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry, like these caricatures, especially during wartime, right? Of how they would draw Japanese people, how they would draw black people, like all these things.
Jewish people.
Yeah, Jewish people, exactly. And the media in those times and everything, still in the 60s, right? Tom and Jerry, right? And it kind of felt like they, like, maybe not even making a critique on that at the time of how people were drawn in media or illustrations, but you can look at that way now. And that's what I was thinking while I was watching that, was just like, it's like the same thing. If witches were real, it's like, oh wow, well, it is a negative stereotype.
Yeah, and it takes having someone who who's been deeply affected by it to open your eyes to it sometimes. And that's definitely Darrin's position. Like, he's never thought about it that way. He's never had cause to, because he's never had to face that real life situation. Because how would he know, as a white man, what that's like?
Exactly.
So it takes Sam being vulnerable and like sharing how much this has affected her for him to realize how important it is, and that's when he rips the sketch up.
Yeah, so he picks the sketch up off the thing and he tears it in half, and of course she's happy about that and gives him a hug and everything's fine. But I just love how for maybe another writer, would be so easy to just have them at odds for the entire episode, right? But he doesn't. He lets them be adults and talk it out and let him see her viewpoint.
Yeah.
Which I love. So that's what I was saying. Like, I love how, I feel the characters are like at their best in this episode.
Yeah.
She's fiery. She's passionate.
She's not afraid to stand up to him and like put to check him.
And he sees reason.
Yeah.
And he loves his wife.
Yeah.
And he's a decent human being. And it makes me very happy.
Yeah. So it's a good one.
Yeah. But yeah. Where are we? Oh,
Yeah, and then we cut to the new renderings, which is witches in like sexy lingerie.
We'll also put clips in here too. These are so beautiful. Yeah. Like these really like you would see in a magazine, like these gorgeous drawings, and they're kind of from the side. So like if she were sitting like in a chair, like kind of from the side, right, profile, in this gorgeous outfit, still in a witch's hat, but blonde, of course, and like a jack-o'-lantern's there. And I'm like, y'all.
They almost could be like fashion renderings for
good.
like sketches for and like a different wardrobe or garments that they're gonna so they're different from the other sketches we've seen.
Oh, for sure.
Completely.
So yeah, and of course Mr. Brinkman does not like it.
Yeah, he's like, I want an old crone. Meanwhile, I'm like, I would put these up on my wall now. These are gorgeous.
Yeah. So he's like pissed, and
his physicality with the warts, he's like trying to explain to him
he's
the
incredible.
nose and the warts, and he's like doing it, and the physicality that the actor brings is so good.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just annoyed, and he's like, this is not a hard assignment. Like, I literally told you exactly what I wanted. Why can you not give it to me? And Darrin just kind of, starts like saying some of the stuff Samantha was, and is saying, well, what if witches were real? Like, it's offensive, and he's like, what's he say? He said,
During which I wrote some stuff down.
Or about like, are you defending this group that doesn't exist, basically, or something? I don't remember.
Yeah. He says how he says Darrin says you don't know what you're talking about, and then Mr. Brinkman's like, I don't like being insulted, and Darrin says, well, neither do I. Witches have feelings, and they don't like being, and this is offensive towards them. And then Mr. Brinkman kind of stops and look at him like, you think witches are real?
Yeah. But Darrin is saying, like that's so overdone. Even though he might be doing this, for his wife to make her happy or whatever, either way, he brings up really valid points. Like, this is way overdone. Like, of course, like your Halloween candy, like there's so many of these stereotypical witches already out there. Why not set yourself apart and do something different, right?
He's trying to sophisticate it.
Yeah, which I thought, like, if this were real and like a thing now, like that is a good idea. Like, do something different. And like Mr. Caldwell said, like, he wants soup to have sex appeal. Well, let's have Halloween candy have sex appeal, right? And so, yeah, he's like, okay, well, I'm kind of done talking to you. He opens the door. He yells for Larry Tate.
Yeah, he's like, let's get some reasonable person in here. Yeah.
Yes. So we get Larry Tate in the episode, which always makes me happy because I love him. And he's like, he's not giving me what I want. And Larry's like, what are you talking about? Like, he's clearly telling you what you want. And so then Darrin tells him, like, goes into that conversation. And
like, I want to make it something more a different rendering of a witch, like Glinda. And then,
yes.
And they say Glinda.
They're like,
they
who?
don't know who Glinda from the Wizard of Oz is.
Which I call bullshit, because also the 50s, right, were the first time that it was put on television, and it was such a insane success, literally watched by every single human that had a TV in America.
Yeah.
They know who
Colored
Glinda
film.
is.
Yeah, how could they not know?
And so that made me happy.
Especially
that
being in
that.
advertising, how could they not know, like, pop? They need to know. They need to be up on pop culture like that.
Yeah. And Glinda's still very relevant today.
She sure is, Glinda.
But yeah, so Darrin's like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm fighting a losing battle. Like, put someone else on the campaign. Like, I don't want it.
Yeah, because Larry Tate tries to get him to comply with Brinkman's vision, and Darrin's like, well, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I have my wife and a very real plight that I support, and I'm trying to make a difference. But if it's going to like cost me this account, then it's going to cost me this account. And he says, give it to somebody else. Yeah. And that's when Larry is like, what do you mean give it to someone else? Why can't you do this?
Or like, what do you mean it's hard? Like, this is so easy.
Yeah, he says, who made you an authority on witches? And Darrin goes, nobody. What's so great about warts? And then storms out.
Yeah.
So
and
funny.
I just wrote, like, at the end of the exchange, I just wrote, like, what a fun, like argument, something that probably could be boring, right? Like I never watched Mad Men. Like I don't care about any of that. And he made it so fun. And this argument and like these three grown men talking about witches and feelings and the Wizard of Oz. I was like, this is a blast.
Yeah, it's a really fun scene. Probably the most fun that we've had in Darrin's office.
In Darrin's office, yeah.
And then it cuts to Darrin at home. He's writing some stuff down, maybe checking his checkbook, or I don't know.
Yeah, like finances. Like there's bills on the table. He's like, looking at all this stuff. And Sam comes in and she immediately says that she kind of feels guilty because, like she's passionate about this thing. But like if it means that he has to lose his job or lose the account, like it's like, it's whatever, right?
Yeah, she's worried that he'll grow to resent her for putting him in this position. And then he says, this has nothing to do with you. But I feel like it does have something to do with her. Like she is the reason that his eyes were opened to this cause. Yeah. And it has to do with what's right and what's wrong. And she helped him to see what's right, what's white and what's wrong.
What's white and what's wrong.
So I don't know. I feel like that sort of erasure of this has nothing to do with you is not, it doesn't really hold all of it in that response.
Yeah. And she, I love it. She's like, okay, work with me here. I have an idea. she's like, what if all the other candy companies go out of business?
Yes. which is an interesting offer from Sam because, their whole thing is that they're trying to rebrand witches as these nice, normal people. And yet she's willing to put, thousands of people out of jobs, in a sense, out of work for it.
So funny.
So then it cuts to nighttime and they're in bed and Darrin is tossing and turning and Sam just like clearly.
Which all the things we know that he's in constant excruciating pain of every moment of his life at this point. I was like, oh, damn. He was like flopping like a fish and I was like, bless his heart. Like I was just like, he is in pain doing this.
Yeah, he hides it very well.
Yeah.
But he doesn't notice when Sam gets up and goes downstairs. And the lighting, I watched the black and white version, not the colorized version. And the lighting when she goes downstairs, you can still tell that it's very dark in the house. But the single light like on her face and like the shadow work is just, it's
so
gorgeous.
Ethereal.
Yes.
This beautiful angel floating down the stairs in the nightgown, right? And so she just goes down the stairs and she's like, Mary, Bertha, Aunt Clara, like calling these poor women in the middle of the night, and they just pop in immediately.
And we hear a bing bong.
Yeah, like makes these weird sound effects we've never heard before.
We're here, Samantha. Are you all right, Clara? Yes, of course I am. Yes. Let me go. I can stand by myself.
But this time, Mary and Bertha brought Aunt Clara with them. So she's in the middle, like they're like holding her up, and they're like, oh, what is it? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry for calling y'all here in the middle of the night. It's such a late hour.
Yeah, she's like, but I don't know what to do. And they say, oh, and we know. I'm so sorry about like Darrin lost his job. And how do they know that Darrin lost his job? Because we don't even know if Darrin lost his job. We just saw him storming out, but we don't know if he quit or if he's been fired or if he's just not on the account or if he's waiting to have that conversation.
Yeah.
But they say he's lost his job and it's very, I'm still wondering, like, are they watching everything? How do they know?
Well, because Mary's like, oh, I just feel so guilty. Like, we shouldn't have even brought it up. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And so I guess, like, Samantha has been talking to them like afterward, like off camera is my only thing. I was like, she's been talking to them because she was like, I'll let y'all know like what he says kind of thing, right?
I thought it was the same thing Andorra does where she'll pop in and she'll already know about the fight that they had earlier because she's watching. Yeah,
that's just how I took it. Like maybe like after he tore up the thing, like she kind of, and all what happened the next day at work, that she kind of gave them a rundown like about their cause,
Okay.
That's kind of how I took it, but
and then like, what are we gonna do? And they say that they want to take it straight to Mr. Brinkman to change his mind so that they don't have to affect Darrin and his job anymore. And they talk about a peaceful, nonviolent protest with signs.
Yes. And so they pop in these signs. Do you have written down what they say on them?
I do.
Okay. I only have what's on Aunt Clara. So please let us know what is on Bertha's sign.
Yes. Bertha's sign, I think I wrote them a little bit out of order, but I think Bertha's sign said Brinkman unfair to witches.
Yes. And then Mary's sign
is witches are people too. And Samantha's,
Yes.
who popped in first, says we demand a new image.
I don't know. I was just, it was Bertha. No, it was Samantha first. Yes. And then Aunt Clara's like, they're like, oh, girl, you need a sign. Like, where's your sign? And she pops in a sign, and very messily in cursive writing, it says vote for Coolidge.
Yeah, right? She was busy thinking about doorknobs. She was counting all the doorknobs in her house. And it's also very funny because when Sam pops in her sign, she just kind of holds her hand out and it happens. Whereas when Bertha and Mary pop in signs, they like snap to make the sign happen. So it's, again, they have different ways of making magic happen between the four of them.
Yeah.
But then Clara also, like, they're holding still after they snap for the sign to come in, but Aunt Clara isn't holding the same position. So after they have the sign in the hand, Clara's like on a different number counting her doorknob still. So I thought that was funny.
Hey, stop pointing things out like that.
That was in the book.
Stop ruining the magic.
In continuity. It's like she was such a method actor. Not only did Aunt Clara as a character not know what was happening, but the actress herself was also lost in her mind.
They're like, girl, pay attention. Get you a sign. She's like, I'm counting my doorknobs. Sorry. So yeah, and then they like fade away with the weird sound effect, right? Samantha's still in her nightgown.
But the shaky writing on Clara's poster also, like, the handwriting, the penmanship is slightly off, and it's another clue of like she's going. Yeah.
That's interesting. But yeah, so they fade away with the weird sound effect, and then we cut to Mr. Brinkman asleep in his bed, and it's kind of like it has a filter over it, like a dream sequence, right, for us.
There's like a soft focus or like a soft blur around the edges. Yeah.
So he's in bed, and he wakes up, and Samantha is sitting on a large lamp. And then we just see four legs kind of crossed, one with sensible black heels on top of the canopy of his bed. And so Mary and Bertha are sitting on top of his bed with their signs, and Samantha has her sign. And he's like, what is going on?
Do you think they're creating this dream like filter scenario for his vision?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's thinking he's dreaming in all this genius.
Yeah, that's what I think. And then Aunt Clara is not sitting anywhere. She is nicely admiring the doorknob of his bedroom.
Hilarious. And he wakes up and he's like, well, what's going on? And they're telling him that he needs to change his mind about witches.
Yeah, Samantha's like, we heard what you want to do for this campaign, and it is not okay at all.
And he's like, I'm calling the police. And then he picks up the phone to call the police, and Sam does this incredible little like snake hand motion, and then his telephone turns into a snake, and he like sees it, and he screams, and he throws it away.
Yeah.
And Bertha and Mary are like, Clara, get up on the bed. What are you doing? Get up
come
here.
Sit on the bed. And she's just like, oh, how do you get it so brilliant? The shine is so beautiful. And he's just like, what?
Yeah, he's like, it must have been the rich food I ate earlier. I should never trust French cooking.
Yeah, I should never eat French food. And so then Samantha's like, French, huh? Or whatever. And so then, poof, we're in another place, and there's like a French guy offering him a cigarette, and he's like, what? Why do I need a cigarette? And then we see a firing squad. I was just like, I wrote firing squad ? And we see a firing squad, and Samantha's kind of there, and they point the rifles at him and shoot, and he's like, oh, and he like, it goes back to his bedroom, and he's like, oh my god, like I'm shot, freaking out, and he's like, you killed me or whatever.
Yes, but before they shoot, he goes, I do believe in witches. I do.
Oh, that's right.
And it
like
reminded
Tinkerbell.
me. Yes. It reminded me of the 2003 Peter Pan movie.
Yeah, Return to Neverland?
No.
Oh.
I'm thinking this is the one where what is the actor who plays Malfoy's dad in Harry Potter? He plays Hook.
I can't talk about that film on this podcast.
Oh no.
It was a very
Harry Potter or Peter Pan?
No, that 2003 Peter Pan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a very. I loved that movie so much.
I know. I loved
wore
it
the
too.
DVD.
I had a crush on Peter Pan and Wendy. They were both when I was younger at the time. When I was like, I
loved that
them.
movie.
But they say it and he's like, I do believe in fairies. I do. And it's like a whole chant. And that's exactly what I was reminded of.
Yes, to bring Tinkerbell's light back.
Yes.
But yeah, in Wizard of Oz when the line's like, I do believe in spooks. I do.
So good.
Yes.
Classic.
But yeah, and so I just love how shocked he was. He was like, you let them shoot me.
She's like, you're fine, aren't you? And he's like, but I said I believed in witches. And they're like, well, you should take a look in the mirror.
Take a look in the mirror, girl. And he does, and it's just him, and then poof, he's in full witch prosthetic, hands and all.
Yeah, his like chin is out to here and his nose is huge. He's got warts all over his face. His hair is all stringy and black.
Yeah, the wig was a moment.
Mm-hmm. The wig was wigging.
Yes.
And he promises to change his outlook, and it's only after he promises that they change him back.
Yeah, he's freaked out. He's like, please change me back, And she's like, all right. And so she's like, look in the mirror again. And so then they vanish and he looks in the mirror again and he's still a witch, and then it pops and he's normal again.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as they pop out, the blur effect is gone as well.
Yes.
Yeah. That was cool.
And then he's like, oh my goodness, I've got
I need a drink.
Oh yeah, I need a drink. And then he goes to reach for the doorknob and there's nothing there.
Doorknob gone.
Aunt Clara took the doorknob.
Yeah, doorknob thief.
As she should. And
so he believes it was a nightmare. He's like, what a nightmare.
Yeah. And so cut back to the office, and Brinkman is sitting down kind of shakily, and he's agreeing with Darrin. Darrin has more incredible sketches that were different from the ones we just saw, of a hot witch, right? And he's like, no, I agree with Darrin. Like, he's right. Like, it's a really good idea. Like, do whatever, right? And they're like, okay, I don't know why you changed your mind. Like, that's so weird. Like, whatever. And then
he leaves abruptly.
Yeah, he like stops at the door and he's like, I have to call the police. And they're like, why? Like, is everything okay? And he's like, I was robbed last night. But the funny thing is, all they took were doorknobs. All the doorknobs. 105 of them.
Right? Who has 105 doorknobs? Because even I was like, oh, maybe the like the hardware on the cupboards, like those little knobs. But even so, I feel like the only house that would have that many doorknobs has to be a mansion.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
All 105 of them. So he's like shook, right? And so he walks out and then...
The knob robbery. A knobbery.
The knobbery, yes. And so then we cut to the hallway outside of Darrin's office, and the incredibly beautiful Elizabeth Montgomery, Samantha, is walking toward Darrin's thing, and they pass each other in the hallway, right? And he's like he recognizes her immediately, and she knows that, right? And so she turns back around and she's like, hi, kind of says hello or whatever. And he's just like freaked out, right? And he runs off.
He's like, it can't be. And I thought that was, it felt like a natural conclusion to the episode, him walking off and it fades to black. And I honestly thought the episode was over. So I went to like click out of it. And then I saw there were a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
And there is kind of an after scene of Larry Tate and Darrin and Samantha at dinner, and they're discussing how well the account was.
The success.
Yes. And the sales are up for the candy company.
Yeah. Larry's like, oh my God, like you were right. Your intuition was right. His sales are up 27%. He was like, he should have known that the people who buy the Halloween candy are the men.
Yeah, fathers are the ones who buy Halloween candy.
And so, of course, they would be attracted to the beautiful woman on the campaign,
Which makes zero sense, but okay.
Yeah, because aren't women the ones that buy the groceries? Like,
right? They would be out, like, anyway, and even if it's not a family with children, like, if it's not a father and just a man, he wouldn't be the one buying the candy. Like, the wife would be the one going to the store and getting the candy and thinking ahead to get that stuff. It doesn't make enough sense, but whatever.
Either way.
And And he's like, well, how did you know? And Samantha was like, it was his intuition. You can't beat it. And it's
She's
funny
like, he's the
because
best.
it was her, and it's her. She's his secret.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I said Sam is Darrin's intuition.
Yeah. His
And-
Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, and he'll be fine as long as he listens to her. So I wonder if he will continue to learn that lesson, right? Remember that lesson in future episodes.
May he never lose his intuition. Samantha.
Yes.
Lovely. Yes, gorgeous. And I do have a little mini ditty on the actor who played Mr. Brinkman.
Nice. Yeah, he looks really familiar as well.
Okay, so Sheldon Berman, born February 3rd, 1925 in Chicago. He served in the Navy during World War II. And then he went on after the war to study drama at the Art Institute of Chicago. It was there that he met his wife, Sarah Herman, and they married in 1947. After graduating, they ended up moving to New York, and he wrote sketches for Steve Allen's Tonight Show.
Oh, nice.
So he was a working writer at the time, a working comedic writer. And then the Compass Players, which is the theater troupe that would later become Second City, invited him to join the group in Chicago.
Aww.
So he moved back to Chicago, and he joined their group. And it was here that he developed a routine that would make his entire career. In this routine, he would sit on a stage and he would sit on a stool, and he employed an imaginary telephone to take the place of an onstage partner. So he would have this little conversation with himself on the phone. And it was so popular, and it ended up leading to a record deal. So a record label hired him to record an album that would sell.
But that's interesting too, because it's not because I would feel like that would be more of a visual gag too, a little bit, right?
Right.
Like, how do the people on the record know unless it's like ring, ring, like little sound effects, right? And then, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it was done, but I think back to watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
And that's how her partner in like the first episode, her husband, he listens to all of those comedy records.
That's so funny. I feel like when you had said that, I had a thought in my head because I only really watched the first 2 seasons of that, but I remember something of him stealing.
Yeah, he
things.
would steal the act by listening to the comedy record, and then that's what he would do on stage, and then she was able to come up with her own material.
Well, of
but
course.
Anyway, we should do that one next. So his first record, Inside Shelley Berman, which came out in 1959, won the first Grammy for non-musical album, and it was the first comedy album to win a gold disc.
Oh, nice. So, what was the title?
Inside Shelley Berman.
So, a recording of his first colonoscopy.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And they're wildly popular. Okay, and this brings me to my first trivia question. Which of the following albums did not go gold of his comedic records? Was it A, Outside Shelley Berman, B, In the Cold with Shelley Berman, or C, The Edge of Shelley Berman?
These names.
They are all wildly similar.
I'm hoping that this was just you. So I'm going to vote that Outside of Shelley Berman is not real. So I'm going to choose that one.
Outside Shelley Berman? That one is real.
Inside, outside, above, below.
Inside, Outside, and The Edge were all like names of his comedy albums.
So which one didn't go gold? Okay.
So now that you understand the question,
I'm sorry.
do you? Because it's definitely because you didn't understand it, and that's why you got it wrong. Yeah. Do you want to make a different guess?
Is like the compilation All Around Shelley Berman?
Whoa. No, the correct answer was B, In the Cold with Shelley Berman, not a real title of one of his records.
Okay.
But yeah, so 3 of his albums went gold, and that was Outside Shelley Berman, Inside Shelley Berman, and The Edge of Shelley Berman. If you're interested in more about his life and his comedy, you should definitely follow his Facebook group. And I think you can go to shellyberman.com. Sorry, my cat's about to walk all over my keyboard.
Oh, no, he's not.
Oh, no, he's not. He's just going to shove his face into the laptop.
This baby.
Yes, you should follow the Facebook group. And there's also a website, shellyberman.com.
Nice.
So, yes, he became very famous after all of those went gold, and he appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, playing shows across the country. He was very popular. His career took off. And then in 1963, NBC trailed him for a month for a documentary called Comedian Backstage. And this is where disaster kind of struck. So, he was on stage doing one of his telephone routines.
Okay.
And a real life phone started ringing backstage. And this particular act was a very touching one about his father. And when he hears the phone start ringing, he loses his shit. And he goes...
Yeah, because silence your phones, people.
Yes, exactly.
Theater etiquette.
But it's one of the ones where they're like hooked up to the wall in the backstage. So it's the ones that are like built into the wall back in the day. And he literally went backstage and he ripped the telephone out of the wall.
Hell yeah.
And was yelling and just like so angry. And the cameras caught the outburst. So they documented all of this.
Of course. Look, people are multifaceted, right? Like there's different layers and different faces of people.
Yeah.
Like it's okay for him to get angry, right?
Yeah. I mean, if he's doing that in public, you only wonder what he's doing at home to his wife.
I kind of hope like rip the phone off the wall and then just throw it at somebody. It's just an interesting visual.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yes.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, after that, he developed a reputation for causing trouble, and audiences were appalled at the temper tantrum. He claims it was a setup, that the producers of the show caused the phone to ring just to get his reaction on camera. But I'm like, they might have done that.
Yeah.
But you're in control of your own reaction.
Yeah, because it could have been funny.
Yeah.
If you were, I feel like if you are a skilled, even actor, right, on stage or whatever, like you would be able to work with that and be quick with your mind and be able to put that into it somehow, right?
Exactly. And like make a joke out of it. And instead it just completely set him off. So he clearly already had some anger issues.
Because even like, pretending.
Yeah, was that? Oh, I thought this thing was on, picking it up again.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah. So he tried to blame it on the production crew, but I'm like, you can't blame them for your own actions, dude. And the New York Herald Tribune called him a spoiled child with a nasty temper, a petty disposition, a taste for tyranny, and a blind sensitivity to others. So his career plummeted after that.
Oh, are you saying Bewitched was a step down?
I'm just saying no. But I do think he definitely wanted to be a comedian. He liked traveling. He liked what he was doing with live shows. And it was after that he had to make a career change.
Okay.
Switched it up. But it did kind of tank his career at the time, and it caused him to file for bankruptcy. It got so bad no one wanted to hire him. After that, he was able to kind of switch gears, and he went into film and TV. So some of his credits after the career shift were
Wagon Train.
Wagon Train.
Is it really?
No, I didn't write that down.
I was going to say, if he was on Wagon Train, I'd be like, they let everybody on that set.
He was on so many though. You'll definitely know him from some of these. He was in. Oh, I don't know what I wrote here.
I don't know that one.
Diverse American Style, 1967, starring Dick Van Dyke and Debbie Ryan. He was in Meet the Fockers, The Holiday, Mary Tyler Moore Show. He was on Friends. He played one of Rachel's bosses. he was in MacGyver, King of Queens, Grey's Anatomy, and he played Larry David's father on Curb Your Enthusiasm, for which he was Emmy nominated in 2008.
Nice.
So he starred in so many different TV shows as background actors and different characters. And for more than 20 years, he taught comedy writing at the University of Southern California and passed away fairly recently in 2017 after a long battle with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was his life. So even though he had that kind of ugly moment on screen during his comedy career, he was able to bounce back and still be a very successful actor with all those different roles. And I think he shines in this episode as well. Yeah.
And he's not like annoying, which is nice. But no, I was scared. I thought you were going to say like, oh, come to find out he was abusing his wife or something awful.
I didn't read anything about what happened behind closed doors, but it definitely makes me wonder as a woman, like seeing someone have such a public outburst of anger.
Or just so able to so quickly turn, right?
Flip a switch.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like when he was angry behind closed doors, what was on the table.
Well, I'm hoping he was just really stressed and this was just a really bad moment and he just kind of had a little meltdown and it was very eye-opening for him and it stopped him from acting that way ever again.
Yeah.
I'm going to be positive.
Yeah, we're going to be positive about it. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great.
But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I have another ditty. It's not a mini, but it is about Aunt Clara herself.
Hell yeah.
Miss Marion Lauren, which, fun fact before I get started, the doorknob obsession is real. So she like kind of went into, read for Aunt Clara or whatever, and she just randomly told them about that she collects doorknobs, right? And they're like, "Oh, that's so weird, like, and funny. Like, how about like bring us some? Like, we're really interested." And then they decided, like, they saw him and everything. And they're like, "Oh, she's like for real. Like, she brought us a whole bag of doorknobs.
She's so quirky. She's perfect."
And they're like, "Let's write this into her character." And so they did. And so later on, the doorknob thing continues. Later on, you'll see her with her doorknobs in future episodes, and she's like polishing, but those are her real doorknobs from home, like her own supply.
Cute.
That they used on camera. So yeah, just a really fun way of bringing in the real actors' strangeness and putting it into the character. So
it makes them more real, makes them more authentic. Yeah, I love this.
So yeah, I love it. So yeah, Marion Lauren McDougall was born on August 12th, 1883. Or was she?
Dun, dun, dun.
So your first trivia question.
Oh my God, right off the bat. Okay.
Only did this because it's like a thing.
Okay.
Was she born in 1885, 1883, or 1888?
Can I inquire as to why it's a thing, or you'll tell me that after
I'll tell you that
guess?
after.
Okay, so you originally said she was born in 85?
Did I?
This is crazy. Okay, so this came out in 1964, so that would mean that... Okay, well, they're all generally around the same time. Do I think she's on the last half of her 80s or the first part of her 80s? I think she was born in 88.
Wrong. She was born, as far as we know, looking at census records and like comparing them to the Social Security, whatever records as well. According to the American government, she was born in 1883.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like she might have shaved off several years when she kind of wanted her career to start going. And so she told people she was born in 1888.
Oh, wow.
And then on her headstone, it says she was born in 1885.
Oh, wow.
But according to the government and what we all like it says on her official stuff she was born in 1883.
That's actually hilarious because I feel like you hear all the time people like saying different ages than they are, especially, women. And so to actually find an example where it's disputed in multiple official spaces, that's so funny.
Queen.
Yeah.
She's like, you're not going to know my actual age.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was born in whatever year in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. And it was a small mining town close to Scranton. And it's still there today. Of course, it's not a mining town anymore. But her father was a doctor, and she had a younger brother named Lorne Taylor McDougall. She studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York. Not a trivia question, but which one of our cast members also studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts?
Which one of our main cast?
Yeah.
Did Endora?
Yeah. So Agnes Moorehead and Elizabeth Montgomery also studied there as well, which is really fun. So they all graduated from there. She married playwright Walter Hackett and became the star in his plays. And they even had their very own theater in London that they opened called the Whitehall. And her time there was extremely successful, and all the people loved her. It said the shortest amount of shows they did was 125 performances. That was the lowest. People loved her, and she was the star, right? And he was a pretty prolific writer as well of plays. So yeah, many of his plays became movies, but unfortunately he passed away in 1944, leaving her all alone. They didn't have any kids or anything, and what they had was working really well. He would write these very wonderful things, and most all of his work was turned into film later, after he passed away. But yeah, so she retired. She's like, I don't know what to do. So she decided to retire and go back to the States. But her retirement only lasted 1 year because little Mr. Beady-eyed Alfred Hitchcock had known about her and wanted her for a role. And so next trivia, which Alfred Hitchcock movie did Marion co-star in? Is it A, Strangers on a Train, B, Rope, C, Dial M for Murder, or D, Rear Window?
The only one of these I've seen is Rear Window. Can I have the options again?
A, Strangers on a Train, B, Rope, C, Dial M for Murder, or D, Rear Window?
I'm gonna go Dial M for Murder.
No.
What
You're
was it?
terrible at this. She co-starred in Strangers on a Train.
Okay.
Yes, and that was her film debut in 1951.
We love it.
Ooh. So after that, she started doing a lot more for television, and the first role she had on TV was playing Mrs. Gurney, the English teacher, on Mr. Peepers, which was another early, one of the first TV shows, right? And then from there, she starred in the short-lived show Sally from 1957 to 1958. And apparently she hated the idea of doing live TV, but she did appear on the Gary Moore Show to help promote her next film, The Girl Rush.
Wow.
Instead of The Gold Rush, The Girl Rush. Another, y'all let us know if you don't like the trivia. You can. I won't be offended. We can tone it down or do whatever, right? But another trivia, who starred on the Gary Moore Show until 1962, the same year Marion also left? So, do you know what the Gary Moore Show was?
Is it something like the Mary Tyler Moore Show where it's
No, it was a variety show.
Oh, okay.
Was it A, Lucille Ball, B, Betty White, or C, Carol Burnett?
Oh, wow.
Just three of the most important
women
in TV history.
Carol Burnett?
Yes. That's where Carol Burnett kind of got her start, starring on Gary Moore's show. And there was Marion right alongside her. Was on there for a little bit for several episodes. And then, of course, in 1964, she was cast as Aunt Clara in Bewitched. And, of course, they all, as all the audience did as well, immediately fell in love with Marion and how incredible she was and genuine and just one of the nicest women, right? And so then that's why they're like, no, we got to keep her around.
Yeah.
So she was in 28 episodes of Bewitched, and so we will not run out of episodes of her, thank goodness. So she's in some really good stuff, and really like a lot of good physical comedy, right? Because think of all the hijinks and shenanigans that can go wrong with her magic. So just buckle up. It's a blast.
Yay.
And of course, like I said, she had her doorknob collection, which is so cute. Which reminds me of a Judy movie, which I think the guy from Strangers on a Train starred in with Judy, presenting Lily Mars. Judy's brother in the movie has a doorknob collection. So Judy throughout the whole thing is like trying to steal doorknobs for her little brother to make him happy. It's so funny. So that just reminded me of that. As well. And then in 1967, she had a small role in The Graduate. Do you know what that is? Yes. So, of course, starring Dustin Hoffman and the beautiful Anne Bancroft, who also graduated from that same school.
Fun.
And that was it. She was only in 3 movies.
Wow.
Can't say about The Girl Rush, but, of course, the only other 2, right, are huge movies, right? Bangers. Her final appearance on screen was as Aunt Clara in 1968, and she passed away at 84 on May 9th, 1968, in her Manhattan apartment of a heart attack. And the show, because they loved her so much, they decided not to replace her character, right, with another actor like they had to do for Gladys, unfortunately, before this, and we'll have to do for Darrin afterward. But they decided not to, and because nobody else would be able to do that, right? So they didn't replace her, and Elizabeth Montgomery, she was really special to her, and I'll try to find the interviews again, but I found interviews of Elizabeth talking about Marion and how special she was and how she really did feel, like she was family. But yeah, so Marion, during her career, was nominated for 5 Emmys, and she won her 5th one, and it was for Aunt Clara on Bewitched, and Elizabeth accepted it on her behalf. Aww. So I guess she knew about the nomination before she passed away, but she passed away before she could accept it. So Elizabeth did that, and apparently gave, a beautiful, touching tribute speech for her on her behalf. And then she was buried in Ferncliff Cemetery in Hartsdale, New York.
Oh, did they say on the show, since they didn't replace her, did they say that she, does Aunt Clara just pass away in the show?
I'm honestly not sure. I guess we'll find out because it seems like she was, multiple times a season, right? There. And then I think it would also be interesting to kind of find out if they say anything about, because she calls her Aunt Clara, is that just because she's a family friend, or is she actually related to Maurice or Andorra, right? So it'll be interesting to see that. But yeah, she becomes a very important member of the show. So I guess saying they didn't replace her on the show is kind of true, because they didn't recast her character, but they did bring somebody else on later that kind of takes that place as the bumbling witch, right? Okay. That's not good at magic. So we'll see that later, but they didn't replace Aunt Clara, right?
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay. Fun.
Yeah. I love this episode. Yeah. I love Aunt Clara. Even though we didn't get Andorra or Gladys, we got, other fun things, but I think it's genuinely like a perfect episode.
I loved it. I loved the way it expanded our world, and we get to get a deeper look into the magic system. I love the way that Darrin handles it, and I love the way that Samantha handles the situation and the way she speaks up for herself, and takes control of the situation with the other witches. It's a good one. Yeah,
for sure. I really like it, and really good writing. I'm excited that he comes back to write more, so I'm excited for those episodes, and I hope y'all are as well, and y'all are enjoying this. Because either way, I'm just enjoying doing this with you.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying rewatching the show and diving more into it. And David said as well in his book, like he gave it 4 stars. David, I would give it 5. I disagree with you. But he gave it 4 stars. And he also said, which is interesting, this is the last episode that was filmed. And then Samantha, and then Elizabeth Montgomery was finally able to give birth
Oh my goodness.
to their first child.
Okay, so then she takes a break.
I
She gets
guess,
some maternity
yeah.
leave before the next couple
I
episodes.
hope so. I mean, it's her show.
Yeah.
So hopefully she was. But I just thought that was interesting. Like, please have this damn baby already. But I didn't notice either, like in those shows, because we have shots of her, especially maybe that's why she was in that ugly frock that they kept putting her in.
Maybe.
But I never noticed, even in her nightgown, I didn't notice the baby bump like we have previously. So maybe this was kind of one that they had did earlier and like they were shot out of order, right? So,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, wow,
Fun
very
times.
interesting. I'm excited to see the next one. I hope it's as good as this one.
Me too.
Yeah.
I already know what it is, and I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't know who the writer is, but we'll see. But
Yeah.
either way, we'll have fun with it.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll change my mind like we did for the previous episode with the baseball stuff, right? Like I didn't like that one, and then came away with it this last time, kind of being like, oh, that was better than I remembered, right?
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. I kind of feel like I won't, but
we'll see.
we'll go in with an open mind.
Thank you for joining us once again, and we will see you next time.
Yes, take care. Stay witchy.
Ta-ta for now.
Go take your bicarbonate.
Go tell a witch you love them.
And you appreciate them. And that it's okay if you have a wart on your nose.
Yeah.
At least you're not green.
And even if you were, we'd still love you.
Exactly. And that's what's important.
That's what's important. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So my wife's a witch. Every married man has to make some adjustment.